Hello everyone, this is Vincent Herring. Today I want to share with you what it takes to master a jazz standard. As a jazz musician, it's a good idea to know as many songs as possible so you can communicate with your fellow peers. There are hundreds of jazz standards and seems to be growing more and more every year. And I just released a new resource called Mastering Jazz Standards. In it, you'll find hours of footage and exercises and concepts that I've taught my students for decades, such as patterns, melodic voice leading, bebop scales, the essential of learning some piano, and more. If you'd like to access the full course, you can find the link in the description below and use code STANDARDS25 for an additional $25 off. When learning a new song, probably the best way, or at least the way I suggest, is to learn the melody first. The melody will unlock keys to the song. Sometimes the harmony, everything is built around them, is on the melody, and you can find a lot. Just digest the melody first. It's part of it. It all goes together. I was never a person to do long tones that much. I had a teacher, David Peterson, that and Billy Browning was another one that we worked on long tones. That was just a thing automatically. And then with Phil Woods, did we work on long tones? I don't think so. I think I formulated the idea that I would do long tones within the scope of practicing. And what do I mean by that? Playing melodies. So if I'm playing a melody like this, so no, that was not a long tone in the way I played it, but everything I play, I tend to play with the quality of the note and the quality of the sound. So it helps my sound. So anyway, with these melodies, and you got a melody that you're playing 2 hours a day, playing at the piano, that's part of that 2 hours, and playing the melody. And that first day, it's one key until you really, really know the melody really well. And you can hear, oh, I played the wrong note. That's a half step up. Okay, so you can hear that. One key, get it down, great. Play it on the piano, play the melody on the saxophone or the trumpet or whatever you're playing. And then next day, branch out, play singer versions. Those are going to start moving in different keys. You might have to do that over multiple days, different keys. Play it a cappella, just playing the song, another key. You just learned it from this singer. It's in E flat. Now you figure it starts on the third. Now you figure it out, and you do it on the saxophone. Oh, this singer, they do it in G flat. You figure it out. You do it. That might take you a little bit of time, but you can do it. Not a problem. But you have to be systematic and dissect this stuff like. It's not as deep as a physician working on your foot, but you have to dissect the stuff and break it down. And so I'm giving you a roadmap and a plan for doing this. Once you get it in the original key, it's a good suggestion to try it in other keys to expand your mind. Let's go through this process from my course. next thing to do is to break down the chords and how they function to really start to understand the harmony. I'll go over this process with you by using the song All the Things You Are, an old Jerome Kern standard. Okay, so as we look at a song, we're going to look at All the Things You Are. And I'm going to explain to you some of the things that go through my mind when I'm figuring out how the best way to play on a song like this. So I don't always think of scales, but if I were, and I were putting this song together. So the first connection is how the hell does bar 1 connect with the next tonal center? Yeah, I guess it's Dorian minor, but it's really more of a phrase than anything to me, and then into a 2-5-1. So I would play this. What is that? That's a phrase more than anything, and then you're into the 2-5. And then when it goes up a 4, I don't necessarily play diminished there, although everyone plays diminished, and it is diminished, that's the chord, but the root movement with the bass, I just play that all in minors. Like I'll play from the last A. So I guess the first chord of the song is going to be from a 2-5 coming from the ending of it. And like I say, I play more melodically phrase to phrase. And then when I'm thinking of the 2-5s, there's the 2-5 after that bar 1. Then that's a kind of 2-5 pattern going up to 4. And then it's another tonal center altogether. So melodic voice leading is very important. And a good place to start, like I say, is just take 2-5-1s, start 3-7-3-7. Let's do the 2-5, 3-7-3-7. That's a nice melodic concept. And then to the 1, 3. And then if you treat the next bar, like if we're taking this and making it a turnaround, like D minor, G7, C major, E, A, D minor. So that was going to be on the E minor 7, 3, and this is going to give you a nice flow on 2-5. Okay, and so those things can help bring out the sound of the chord, and it's a good idea sometime to work to practice like what I was just doing there, a turnaround, because you run those turnarounds in all the keys, and they're going to constantly come up in all the standards that you're working on anyway. So it's just a good way to get a grasp on that sound and play good voice leading through that, and you get used to that. And then you can take you can take other songs, and as you're learning them, one of the ways it'll help you is if you spend enough time on 2-5s and that third through the 7th, you'll start hearing it on when you're learning new songs, and it'll help you to be able to find the chord structure of a new song. Here's an example of some decent to good voice leading over Blues for Alice. Depending on what the song is and the flavor of it, one of the tools that I like to use is a bebop scale. When we're playing this song, you know, bebop scales is something that's coming out all the time when I'm playing. So we're playing a... That's a bebop scale. That's a minor bebop scale. Same thing with this. So those things are constantly going on. Now, when you're first learning them, you know, you're kind of stuck with just the scale itself. But as you play it and digest it more in your vocabulary, you have a variety of starting points. But in general, I use 1, 3, 5, 7. 1, 3, 5, and 7. So. Or major. It's from the 1, the 3. From the 3, from the 5. And from the 7th. And all of them are fighting to get to the 5. So in other words, from the 7 is fighting to get to the 5. That's the real sound of the bebop scale. From the 3rd, fighting to get to the 5. From the 1, fighting to get to the 5. Once you get to the 5, so that's what's happening. And so when I'm playing a song like this, I'm never, you know, I've been playing this for a while, so I don't have to think in terms of thirds. I mean, 1, 3, 5, and 7. It's a matter of a melodic phrase for me when it's happening. So. All right, everyone, that concludes our video for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you got something out of it. Again, if you'd like to dive deeper into these concepts, you can check out my full course called Mastering Jazz Standards and find a link to it in the description below using code STANDARDS25 for a discount of $25. Thank you again. Look forward to seeing you again next time.